Hey everyone, Shawn Clement here at our Richmond Hill location, and you're looking at our CG quad setup and our Ping Fitting Center. And man, oh man, have we been having a blast teaching and fitting clubs here. It has been so amazing. The machine is telling us so many things that we would never have known with the naked eye. And it really has been an incredible pleasure. I know now that when I sell a set of clubs and I fit a set of clubs, that I really have the right combination of stuff going out. You know, it's so easy to confirm with this machine. Now, what I'm going to be talking to you about today is getting you organized. So the major priority before you get anything going is alignment. And what we're lining up mostly is the flow of momentum in your swing. So your shoulder sockets and your hip sockets are parallel to each other, right? So that you don't walk around like Quasimodo. And as soon as you bring your hands together to take your grip, your hands and arms are always going to tend to swing parallel to this ball socket system. So incredibly important to use an intermediate point right in front of the ball. So you always take your alignment from back here. So if I was going to the H in HDMI on the screen, I would want to go right over that rubber T right there. Now, many of you, once you've seen that, still don't trust that. You're still letting your side vision influence it. And I see so many of you going across. For the right-handed player, you're lined up too far right, and for the left-handed player, you're lined up too far left. So here is an acid test for, we're going to create our own gun sight as far as the swing is concerned. So you notice when you're using a gun sight, you're setting up the sight with your target. So one of them are going to be blurry, but you still see it in your field of vision, and you basically match that up with your target. It's the same thing here. My gun sight is the blur of the club above the ball. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get used to like a nice short chip shot, and I'm doing a nice blur of my club in front of me, and what I want to do is I want this blur here to be parallel to my feet. So then let's say I lined up too far left. I'm going to do a blur above the ball parallel to my feet. Now I can see that this blur is going way too far to the left of my intermediate point. That intermediate point I sought from back here with my binocular vision. That's 1000% correct. This side vision is never correct. You would be reacting to a mirage right now. So I'm going to bring it around. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to look at blur parallel to my feet, check. And does the blur match the intermediate point? There we go. Now I'm lined up parallel to this, as you can see. So if I go too far left, a nice blur parallel to my feet, and I can see that the blur above the ball is going way too far to the right. Bring that around. There we go. Now everything is humming nicely in that direction, okay? So the camera angle plays a little bit with that, but you'll see how, there we go. So what I'm going to do is, got my 6-iron right here. I have an intermediate point in front of my ball. So I'm doing a nice draw from the left of that intermediate point back to the intermediate point. And the intermediate point should be pretty much parallel to the machine right now. So I line up my feet parallel to that. Acid test. Yes, that fits. Okay, so I even have a mirror back here, and I can see in the mirror how parallel I am to that line. I play the ball. Now that I have alignment, I can now find my ball position. If my alignment was too far to the left, chances are I'm going to play that ball way too far forward in my stance, and now I'm coming naturally over the top. So you're going to develop, with poor alignment, you would be developing some really nasty swing habits, right? So when you come back to normal and play the ball back in your stance, it'll feel like you're lined up way right as a lefty. And then when I get behind the ball, now I'm going to start getting my bearings. Now it feels like I can release to the left edge of that. So now I'm looking for a nice feel, low effort release in that direction. There we go. So the ball started to the left of where I wanted to start, drew a little bit more than what I wanted. So a nice smooth 180-yard 6-iron, a little bit toward the toe, so that gives me a little more gear effect, but you notice how I started the ball right on the line that I wanted to start it. So if you're able to start the ball in the direction that you want to release the club, and you've got that flavor, I was looking for a draw, so I have the flavor of that draw. There we go. So let's try that again. Every time you set up, ball position will be just a hair different. Grip on the club will be a hair different. There we go. But this feels like it fits the picture. What's left? Oh, yeah, the nice release of my sword in that direction. Yes, it started in the direction I wanted to. There we go. I'm at between 180, 185, just warming up. There we go. Right in the center of the club face. So, again, nice direction, just a little bit of an overdraw. So what I can do is relax a little bit on my club face. So now that I'm seeing a nice little pattern, so I'm going to close the face a little bit less. Play the ball back, get behind the ball, and let the weight of the sword release through. There we go. So notice less draw, just a little thin on the contact there, right? So less draw on that one. The path was a little less to the outside, and you notice how I'm getting a little bit tighter draw. So I hope you enjoyed getting your gun sight. You want to do that with your chipping, your pitching, full swing, and your driver. And you'll notice when we do this on the premium channel, you're going to see a nice down the line view and a nice front view as well. And we're going to be taking it through the whole gamut as far as, you know, your short clubs all the way through to the driver. And you'll really, really appreciate how we do it with the driver. Enjoy that. We'll see you next time.